This is a fairly early home wireless networking kit. It's designed to link two computers together, possibly more. Yeah, it's made by Aviator. I've never heard of this company, but I do remember these existing. I remember seeing them in stores. And it runs between 902 and 928 megahertz. I was kind of wondering about that on my way home from Savers when I bought this for $5, and I was like, what protocol? It must be a proprietary protocol before there were any real standards established. So for all intents and purposes, and I do remember that some cordless phones use that frequency. So I actually remember owning a couple of 900 megahertz phones. So basically, it uses the same bandwidth or the same frequency as a cordless phone. So the reliability and speed must be pretty bad. Does it tell us up to 1 megabit per second? So it does tell us. Requirements are Windows 95, 98, 486 processor, Pentium class recommended, floppy disk drive or CD, 2 megabytes of hard disk space. It includes 2 Aviator transceivers, 2 parallel port cables, 1 ISA-bus parallel port card for your computer with a printer and an Aviator. We're going to need that. That's the installation software, user's manual, quick start guide, and a warranty card. And somebody never mailed in this $50 mail-in rebate. Unbelievable. $50, they just threw it away. So, made in USA. It's something you don't see every day. Check out the artwork on the back. The laptop shown here, it looks like a generic Taiwanese product. Here we've got a Dell monitor on a compact. That doesn't look like any Desk Pro that I've ever seen. And there's that same exact machine. I actually owned this very monitor. I had a couple of these. They were labeled as Magnavox monitors, and I know I had a few of those. Yeah. Okay. Let's take a look inside. Made by Webgear Incorporated. That's webgear.com. Highly doubt they're still in business. Yeah, a company like this, once the the 802.11b kit started becoming affordable and available, I'm sure they were shitting bricks, pardon the expression. So it's like, hey, we have a great product. No, we don't. Anyway, I don't recall these being particularly expensive. Maybe a couple $100. So in the box, we have a sealed copy of the Aviator software. We have a warranty or registration card, owner's manual, installation guide. So this is touting full networking capabilities plus printer and internet sharing. That's a tall order for this time. This is like 1998, 99 when this came out. So copyright 1998. So that was a tall order for in-home use. I mean, that was when people were starting to put 10-base-T network setups in their homes if they were serious about any real multi-computer use within their homes. We have the user's manual. We have the wireless parallel interface card. Wireless. Did I say that right? No, I didn't. We have a parallel interface card. This is an ISA card. And let's see who the make is on this. It even tells us. Just a generic Taiwanese. Can't see what the chip is. It's got a sticker on it. Manufactured in April of '98. So that kind of gives us a time period of when this was made. And I think you all know where I'm going with this and what it's going to be connected to. For those of you who know my latest projects, you'll know what I'm talking about. I'm going to just give it away. We're going to use my 760XL, which I just got working again. Not that it was dead or anything, but I was concerned that the battery wasn't charging. I had plugged it in last night, and after about an hour it was still flashing 0%. I woke up this morning and it was at 100, and then I ran the battery refresh utility. It had been sitting in the case for a couple of months. I haven't been turning it on, or I haven't been cycling it, and sometimes when you don't do that, bad things happen. Okay, here's one of the adapters. Here's the second one. It looks like it must be powered off the bus, and I have to admit I don't know what the pin or what the actual pinout is on a parallel port, but or what voltages are available to what and where. The only thing we don't have, we got some parallel cables so that we can we don't have to connect these like dongles. Just plug this in. Got a short one and a long one. So, alright, well, I guess we're going to have to fire up the old Win98 PC. We're going to start off over there. I'm going to use this cable on that one. We'll take one module, we'll take the software, and I'm going to have to put this into the Windows 98 machine. And I'm just going to bring the whole kit. Make it easy. Bring it upstairs. Once we get the Windows 98 machine on board and working, we'll be able to better understand how a kit like this really works. So at this point, we've got the module connected to LPT1. I've moved the printer onto USB, fixed the driver for that, and now we're trying to get this sucker working. I've tried, this is my probably attempt number 3 or 4, and we're just gonna see what happens. It says unknown device found. There it is. That's the driver that wouldn't load earlier. It looks like it's gonna try it now. So here we go. And once I get this thing running, see, it says it's detected. Now we're going to see, it's going to do networking components. I believe it uses NDIS, which the driver is already there. Insert Windows 98 CD-ROM, which is located in C, Windows 98. I did run into a lot of issues with this. More issues with installation than I'm used to seeing. You know, for those of you who worked with and grew up around this older technology, what is now considered older technology, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, a lot of this stuff just didn't really work the first time. You know, you'd have to play with the installer, maybe try it a few times. Eventually it kicks in. That shutdown sound, by the way, is part of the Windows 95-98 Utopia sound scheme, which is actually also in Windows 2000, Millennium, and possibly XP. I think it's in XP. And, yeah. Let's see what happens. Once we get it working. I'm eating a Hot Pocket for dinner because I don't feel like cooking. Just lazy. I've been out all day long, just with friends and stuff, and actually ended up, you know, eating out today in a restaurant is like crazy money. I mean, I ate a very, very not very good tasting sandwich at I think it was Outback Steakhouse, and I ordered a bloomin' onion to share with everybody, and it was $8. It cost me $30. So it's over 30 some dollars with tip and tax. Like, what the hell did I just do? Man, I feel so empty inside after that. And it wasn't that good. I got a sandwich and a salad, and the salad was like tiny. There was nothing there. You know, the sandwich, it was a not prime rib, it was a ribeye sandwich that they had. And it was like something, for those of you who know what Boston Market is, it's like a chicken restaurant. It originated in the East Coast, but Boston Market was like, they have these Carver sandwiches, they call them, and they're terrible, but that's what it tasted like. So it looks like it is working. It looks like interference. It has a little interference gauge. It looks like we're okay. It shows it right in the green zone here. And there's my machine. Now, we've got to go downstairs and we've got to install this on the ThinkPad 760. So, we've gone through hell and back, but we're not done yet. And disk 1. Now, you guys didn't get to see all the stuff I had to do to get this to work. There really wasn't anything that I could replicate and would necessarily help anybody. It was really just trial and error. Like, installing it with the included adapter was a nightmare. This adapter, by the way, does not work. The adapter does not function. It didn't it detected, it worked for like 5 minutes, and then it just quit. So I couldn't get it running again. I tried many different things to get it working, including different drivers and different IRQ settings, and it just wouldn't happen. Not only that, but it was conflicting with my printer. So it had some internal conflict with my internal LPT adapter, or parallel adapter, but nothing that was being detected by the OS. So I really didn't want to spend a lot of time digging around when I had another solution in my pocket anyway. And that solution was to remove that adapter and simply install the printer with a USB cable. And that took care of it. Thank God I installed the USB interface on this machine when I did, because it just solved a lot of problems. So we're going to run it on LPT1, and that's it. Now, WebETC, Web Etc., is a gateway that is included in this package. And what that does is it's essentially what we now know as internet connection sharing. And it basically takes whatever internet connection the machine sees, and it replicates it over the wireless. I'm going to just make sure that's live real quick. Open up IE real quick. Make sure it's actually working. I'm actually sharing the internet connection from the iMac over here, so that's holding up it just fine. So the iMac, and I've got an Ethernet adapter in here, and that's how we're connecting. So let's insert disk 2. But once I took care of the connectivity issue and fully uninstalled the software, it looks like that solved all of my problems. So the biggest mistake I made, the only mistake I made actually, is trying to use the parallel interface that it came with, which had all sorts of wonderful problems. So now WebETC is not loaded right now. We're going to have to start that up, and let's see what that does for us. Sort by name. Let's see. Let's launch it up. Now, this is the part that kind of confuses me. My WAN IP address is 192.168.147.1. Is that what the machine is getting? Or is that what it's trying to use? Now, I'm getting 192.168. Hold on a second. Let's open up the... let me just confirm what I'm seeing here, because I don't believe it entirely. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Ethernet adapter 1, Ethernet adapter 0, Ethernet adapter 2. See, it creates a virtual Ethernet adapter. 192.168.2.2 is the machine's address from the iMac. The default gateway is the iMac's root address, the iMac's built-in gateway. So now that card is creating a separate subnet essentially, and this is it. So I think we're okay. Let's see how that works. So 192.168.147.1. Please start WebETC when I start Windows. Yeah. See how that works. I think I figured it out. The WAN IP is supposed to be the machine's gateway. And the gateway IP address, or my WebETC gateway, is supposed to be what the gateway, what internet connection sharing software generates dynamically for the clients, I think. We're going to leave these blank. We do not have a POP3 server set up or anything like that. And let's see how this goes. Alright. Okay. I think we're ready to go downstairs. I'm going to need all of these floppies. And that's it. Before we continue with the 760XL client install, let's talk a little bit about how this thing works. So modern wireless systems use the 802.11b standard and up. They started out with B as, I believe, the first widely available standard. Now, wireless 802.11b runs on 2.4 gigahertz, which is well above the frequencies used by, say, cordless phones and radio-controlled planes and cars and other wireless devices that most households had back then. This uses the 900 megahertz band, or range of frequencies. It's actually specified in here somewhere. Within 902 to 928 megahertz. And of course all of the frequencies in between. Cordless phones, popular at the time, used the same frequencies. Although I kind of wonder what was done to make this not interfere with those. Let me tell you a little bit about that. Now, when I was growing up in the early 90s, when I was born in 84 for your reference, I guess. In the early 90s, most cordless phones, in fact, the one that my parents had, as well as my neighbors, as I later figured out, all had the old 49 megahertz cordless phones. And those were very popular at the time. In fact, my parents were somewhat trendsetters in the day because they were the first family. We were the first family in the neighborhood to have a cordless phone. Anyway, when I was a kid, learning how to use the phone to call my friends and stuff, I would pick up the handset, and on occasion, I would hear my neighbors' conversations. And I thought it was kind of cool. My dad and I, when I was like 10 years old, were sitting in the shed working on the snowblower, and I had to make a phone call to someone, and I picked it up. And I was listening to my next door neighbor have a conversation with her mother. And nothing racy or anything, but we just sat there and listened to it. Like, this is interesting. You know, I wonder if we're going to hear anything, you know, untoward us or anything. I know the woman hated us. She hated us so much. But she had her reasons. But anyway, you know, it was like there was no security. There was no, I mean, the frequency that your particular handset used was pretty random. I believe the handset and the base station would pair up. I think every time the phone was, I don't know. I mean, every manufacturer I think had a different scheme for selecting the frequency of the day. But yeah, it was pretty interesting. You know, one frequency. Now the thing is, it didn't use the same frequency for duplex operation. So, you know, it might use like 49.50 to communicate from the handset to the base, and then it would use a different frequency in the other direction. So if you picked up your receiver and heard your neighbors' conversations, they wouldn't hear you, because we didn't know this at the time. We're like calling her a bitch and my dad is he's not the most refined guy, but we're like, you know, fuck you, your daughter's a whore, you know, stuff like that, you know, stuff, you know, father and son bonding at times. And you know, of course, she never heard us. But as it turned out, by the way, ironically, her daughter did, in fact, grow up to be a whore. So we weren't that far off. Anyway, no, really. She pretty much was. She was charging her classmates for certain things. Anyway, I lost my train. It's true. It's true. It is actually true. Her daughter became something of a... Oh, yeah. Anyway. So, yeah, by the way, here is the original package of everything that came with the ThinkPad when it was new. Can't believe I still have all this stuff. I'm so glad I do. So I had to install the floppy disk module. Oh, I forgot something. I need something. Whoa, what was that? Oh, screensaver just kicked in. Whoops. Alright. I need the other module. I need this. I'm still having to take the stairs one at a time. It's still kind of painful. But I'm working through it. So where was we? Your daughter's a... Oh, yeah. You need this cable, which is still sealed. Oh, just grab my scissors. I gotta turn the speakers down on that computer. The screensaver is quite loud. So we're going to plug the wireless module into the link cable here. And we're going to plug it into the back of our ThinkPad. I'm going to do that first. That way when the software goes to detection mode, you won't have any problems. That just goes right in there. Alright, there we go. Okay. So now we need to install the main driver disk, Aviator Disk 1. I don't think I've ever really used this floppy drive for anything. Hope it works. Not bad. I gotta turn that sound off. That's so crazy loud. Another example of what's now known as wireless eavesdropping on cordless phones, because walkie-talkies that kids would usually had, you know, to talk to their friends, you know, the ranges were never that great, but they worked okay. The old walkie-talkies used the same frequency range as cordless phones. What could possibly go wrong? So I'm on my bicycle. Now I had a set of, they were actually my first Sony walkie-talkie headsets. I got them used. My neighbor, one of my neighbors gave them to me. And I think he gave them to me for one of my, what was the work group I used? Bishop? I think that's what it was. Oh my god, I have to turn that off. It doesn't matter what the computer name is. Actually, you know, I'm going to change the computer name to ThinkPad. And we're going to make the work group Bishop. I gotta do something about that. It's driving me crazy. I gotta turn that down. Alright, we're going to select number 2. So this has, essentially, this is how I see it. It has about 32 channels that it can work with. So that seems about right. And we're going to give number 2 assignment to this one. And we're going to just go there. I'm going to go turn that volume off. Yeah, it's all set. So anyway, I've got this this headset, walkie-talkie set that I got as a gift. And one of my friends was on his bicycle. I was on mine. And we were riding around the neighborhood talking to each other. And then I was driving by, or riding by one of, I lived in a small neighborhood. It was actually a trailer park, and as I'm riding by one of my neighbor's house, like several streets over, I could hear her conversation on her phone. I'm like, this is interesting. This is the first time I realized that they use the same frequency. So I parked my bike on the side of the street, and I'm listening intently into this conversation. This woman, I never liked this woman. Her daughter was mean and nasty to me, and she was a couple years older than me. But this woman was just mean to kids, just really mean. And anyway, so I'm listening to this conversation, right? She's having a very racy conversation with what turned out to be she was having an affair with with some guy, and she was married too. You know, it was an interesting conversation for I think I was 9 at the time, maybe 9 to 11 years old. I forget what my age was, but either somewhere between 9 and 11 years old. And I'm like listening to this conversation, like, what the hell is she doing? And it was just, I didn't know what she was talking about. I mean, I was 9 or so, but yeah, it was crazy. But point being, if you have one of those old cordless phones, you know, you gotta, yeah, kids are listening. Kids are listening. No, maybe not. I was. There have been other circumstances where I'd pick up the phone and make a call, and I could hear another neighbor. The joys of living in close quarters, I guess. This one didn't have nearly as many errors. But we're not out of the woods yet. We're not out of the woods yet. Yeah, we're going to keep that on. You know, I could be drinking water. I could be drinking vodka. You never know. I mean, obviously I'm not drinking vodka, but you can't tell unless I tell you. Kind of cool, huh? It's my secret. So that's done. So now at this point we've got the driver installed. I didn't see it detect the device. I mean, I didn't see it say yay or nay, so we'll see what happens. This installed a little bit differently. A little bit differently. It was an unusually smooth install. An unusually smooth install. It was a smooth install. That didn't come out right. Here's the box again, by the way, so we can take a gander at that again. Web Gear Incorporated, 60 South Market Street, San Jose, California. I wonder when they went out of business. Because you know they're not in business anymore. There's no friggin' way. No way they're still in business. Maybe bought out. Up to 1 megabit per second. I should get more of these devices. I wonder if I can get some more of these. I can have a super secret old LAN in my house. There's no password, so just hit return. So if this device really works, then it should be good to go. Now, I've got the fridge behind me running, so if there's any interference from that motor, which there shouldn't be at 900 megahertz, but if there were, I'm just saying, it detected it. It detected it. Okay, well, this is interesting. Let's take a look at the stats here. No interference. Good to go. It sees it. There it is, resurrected. It sees it. Sweet. It works. It freaking works. It's going to do the link is working correctly. Oops. Good. Good. Now we can start working at file sharing, and I can actually share files. And this one has drive C shared for other reasons. Web folders. I don't think there's anything there. Now we need to install WebEx. There's only one piece we need, the client piece. Internet gateway. Insert disk 1 only on computer. So it wants disk 2 on each client computer. So we're going to run disk 2. I don't have any shared folders on the Win98 machine yet, so we're gonna look at that. If I go to Network Neighborhood, it's going to show me. It should actually show me the other computer. So as long as that works, as long as it shows up. Once we get file sharing running, it's just like any other LAN. It works just like any hardwired LAN. But the web sharing isn't turned on yet. So, all right. While that's dicking around, I'm going to run the installer for the Internet Gateway piece. this makes me a client off of the host computer. So I've also got to make sure that my my work group name matches. I'm not sure if I ever... Oh, there it is. Resurrected. I see it. I actually see it. There it is. Now, I don't know what other competing products were out there yet. I have to look at that. I gotta figure that out. If there were, I mean, I know there were definitely competitors to this guy, to this one. So it looks like it detected all my settings. Let's see how it goes. We're not going to bother with any of this. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see if IE runs. Yeah, there's no Microsoft Mail, so yeah, we're going to make that my default browser. So we're on a Windows 95 machine. It's going to go straight to Google. It's actually working. It's actually... Are you freaking kidding me? It works. Wow, this really works. I am blown away. I am blown away. This worked. It worked flawlessly over here. We had some issues upstairs, but we fixed them. Really weren't major problems, just little glitches here and there, but it actually works. Are you kidding me? If I do a Google search for Space Jam, is that site even running still? That's like the only site left that'll still load in this old browser. And it looks like it's still there. Look at that. There it is. In full living color. We are running this thing. I want to try something here. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to take this machine out on the road. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to unplug our module. Alright. And we're going to take the... Now, because this computer is one of the few remaining laptops from 1997 with a functioning battery, we can unplug the power. We're going to plug this in directly to the port, if it'll do it. It might be too thick. The door might be in the way. Oh no! Okay, I'm going to have to use the cable. Here we are, outside. See if I can zoom in on a star. Maybe not. Hey, there we go. There's one. We are outside, out on the deck. The 760XL. And the wireless module. And we're going to try to surf the web. 1997 style. Wish I had more light. Oh, it's upside down. That doesn't work. Plug that in. I put the CD module back in. Not that that matters or anything, but it's pretty cool. I mean, this is just what is basically an ancient home wireless networking system running on ancient hardware, and it works, and it's brand new, new in box. I think that's so cool. So gotta boot this sucker up. I shut it down because I wanted to put the CD back in. It's kind of chilly out here, but there's the house inside. The angle that you guys don't ever get to see. Here we go. Let's see how this works. Again, I don't have any shared files or anything, but I'll work on that. At least we know it works. We can share the internet. I can share printers. We know that much works. So I think that's pretty damn cool. Oh, it's so cold out here. Probably in the low 50s, I would say. And it's not ice cold, but it's chilly. Okay. What's going to happen? Now, remember, we have to log into the Windows networking or Microsoft networking. There's no password set. Just hit return and you're in. This is pretty secure too, because unless you have that module, I mean, it's not like an open, modern wireless. Look at this battery, full battery. This battery's 20 years old. 20-year-old battery still holds a charge. Although it was kind of scary, because for a second, when I pulled this thing out of the bag, I plugged it in, and after about an hour of just being plugged in, it was still showing 0, flashing a 0 indicator on the screen down here. And it took a while. It took overnight for it to actually come back to life. And then I ran the refresh tool on it, and it's so far holding its own. But oh, you know what? We have Lynx as our browser. I want to see how that goes. But let's open up IE, and we're going to see. Oh boy, try again. Oh, it's trying to go to Microsoft.com. Yeah, that's not going to happen. So go to Google.com. There we go. Let's go to Google. Yeah, the Microsoft site is definitely not going to work. I'm going to set that to my home page. And, oh, it already is. Okay. What did I hit? Whatever I did, it tried to go to Microsoft for some reason. Let's see, what pages do you think will load? I know eBay won't. I know, Yahoo maybe? So, nothing here is newer than 20 years. It's pretty amazing. Roughly 20. We'll call it 19. Oh, did I type that in the Google search bar? Yeah, see, Yahoo is, it just shut me right down. It's not going to happen. What about Google Maps? Does that even do anything? No, not going to happen. See, it just comes back, page not found. It will not load in this browser. Let's try AOL.com. See if that turns back anything. Oh, my furnace is kicking in. All's well. It's trying to go. And it's just like, no, I can't do it. It's too damn slow. It's old. It's secure. It's trying. Well, here we are outside. Let's see what our signal strength looks like. We went down to about here, 15. We were over at 5. Oh my god, here comes the wind. Yeah, shit. Oh, what happened? Oh, my battery died. Oh, so much for that. My battery just went dead. Oh. So much for a 20-year-old battery, I guess. It died. No, wait. Did it die? What the fuck? I mean, I still have a green light there. Why is that green? Open up. I keep forgetting which direction to... There we go. Come on. Don't be a bitch, huh? No, 0% flashing. Okay. Well, that was fun. So it turns out my 20-year-old battery isn't so good after all. Must be a dead cell. I'm not surprised. Alright. At least we got that far done. We got that much done. It was surprisingly fun. And here comes the warm air, which is going to cause the lens to fog up. Maybe not. So... Thanks for watching, guys. I have nothing else to show you. I mean, maybe later on we'll do some other stuff with this, but I just wanted to get it running and tested, see if it even works. As it turns out, it does. And I'm so surprised. I am so surprised. I did not think in a million years that this would work so well. I mean, it was difficult at first. I mean, it wasn't a walk in the park. But at least now I can share files wirelessly to my 20-year-old laptop from my 20-year-old desktop using 20-year-old technology. And that, my friends, is what this channel is all about. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.